Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to talk about the why, speculate about the why, because it's a question that keeps coming up. And this is, of course, about the Attorney General out there in Texas and the proceedings that he is currently facing. One of the questions that has continually arisen is why Republicans suddenly decided to hold him accountable. The reason this is coming up is because, for the most part, there's a lot of surprise that Republicans in Texas, in the South in general, would suddenly decide, oh, corruption's a bad thing. There's an expectation when it comes to politics in the South. And it just seems odd. And everybody's been looking for that other thing, myself included, because I don't believe we have all of the story. I think there's something else. Today, somebody said something, and it just kind of stuck in my ear. One of the witnesses that came in to testify against Paxton basically said that it was the alleged affair that basically explains all of his alleged illegal or unethical acts. Okay, fair enough. But that's where something else might come into play. We're all looking for a political reason for the behavior of Republicans, particularly those in the Senate after they denied all of his pretrial motions. What if it isn't political? What if it's personal? What if there's a reason that Republicans in the Senate are less than forgiving? And what if it has to do with the alleged affair? Politicians, particularly in the South, there are rules. There are rules when it comes to stuff like this. You're going to have a mistress? Well, you have a mistress, but nobody gets to find out. And if anybody does, it's over. It stops right then. If your wife finds out, it's over. It stops right then. You do the whole I'm sorry, mea culpa thing. Maybe it's not going by those rules that has them upset. It's important to remember that Paxton's wife, she's not exactly somebody who lacks connections. She knows a lot of these people for two reasons. One, she was Paxton's wife and engaged in a lot of things that are really social things in Texas. I want to say she helped found a church out there. Also, she's in the Senate. What if that has something to do with it? What if that's the motivation for Republicans not being as forgiving this time? Because he didn't follow those rules, those unspoken rules that govern that kind of behavior. Somebody said it, and I found it very interesting. The person who said it definitely understands Texas politics better than I do. It's as good an explanation as any other that I can come up with. And it's one that I haven't seen anybody talk about. It's important to remember that Paxton, he wasn't there today. He didn't show up to the impeachment thing. He's not required to be there. And didn't show up. His wife was there. I don't know. I don't know. It's an interesting theory. It is purely speculation, but at this point there's an information vacuum. Not a lot explains the behavior of the Republican Party, other than there is something really bad that we don't know about that they do, or I guess this. It's unique. It's a unique theory. I haven't seen it anywhere else. But yeah, his wife is in the Texas Senate. She knows all these people. And as far as the old school rules, you can't humiliate your wife. And once that information became public, once the allegations became public, it might have shifted a lot of people's positions just based on an old school, unspoken rule of propriety. Propriety when it comes to having a mistress. Anyway, it's something unique to keep in mind, and we'll see how it plays out. We'll see what everything focuses on. If the objections to the behavior are focused on the alleged corrupt activity, well, that's one thing. But if when people start talking about it, they talk about the other alleged activity, it might lend a little bit of credibility to the idea that what has become a very public political show is really a private, personal matter. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.